Hi there, I'm Gwen Daubenmeyer with the Integrity team here at RE/MAX Defined, and I wanted to pop in for a second to talk a little bit about what everybody's talking about right now, and that is the real estate market shift. Are we in a shift? Yes, we are, by golly, but it isn't any reason to get all crazy. So what is a shift? A shift is simply when the market changes from favoring buyers to favoring sellers, or in this case, it's shifting from favoring sellers over the last few years to favoring buyers. A shift naturally occurs historically. There's a shift every 10 or 12 years or so, and it lasts about 4.7 years to full recovery. This is my 32nd or 3rd year in the business. This is my 4th shift, and we've made it through. So what I want everybody to know is, don't worry. I wake up every day unemployed, depending on this housing market, so I think I have a right to worry before anybody else, and I'm not worried. Secondly, not really willing to concede that it's a full-on buyer's market yet. I think where we are in Oakland County right now is just balancing. So it does require, as we enter into this shift, and I think we're at the beginning, does require a few things to expect. So I'm going to use my notes here. One is agents, including myself, we need to be more careful about challenging the market. I love to challenge the market, especially when I have a really great house that's been staged to perfection. I want to challenge that market. Doing so now when we're using comparables in a shifting market could cause us to overprice a house and can cost our sellers market time, which could mean big money. And likewise, sellers need to be really cautious of Zillow or agents who are giving them really tempting prices to win the listing when in fact it could just cost you extra market time and you could lose that money anyway. So we need to be reasonable with our market prices. Likewise, we need to make prudent decisions about updates that we're making to our house. And this gets really tricky because we can't assume that you're going to get 100% ROI on the updates that we do make to a house, but we need to keep our houses maintained and updates in there. We're not going to be competitive to the market. So you have to be careful about the updates that we're doing, especially as we're watching HGTV and, we've got all of these grand ideas and expectations. So if you're not quite sure if something that you're planning to do is a good investment or not, as an accredited staging professional, I can probably give you some quick advice over the phone if you want to just give me a call. But before you do that, reach out to someone and get some good advice about spending that money in your house if you're going to sell it. The next thing is sellers are going to need lots of patience coming up. Just be patient, or this is going to can grate on your nerves. You need good communication with your agent. Our market times are going to be longer. Sometimes you can't see everything that we're doing behind the scenes to sell your house. Like, I get that. But when the market shifts to a buyer's market, that means that there are more homes available than there are buyers to buy them. So it is going to take a little bit longer. Agents need to be both savvy negotiators and goodwill ambassadors for their sellers at the same time. We can't have these conflicting deals, and you need to reach out and try to be an ambassador to draw buyers to your home. But at the same time, I don't want to give any of my sellers money away. So it's really tricky to be both a good negotiator and a goodwill ambassador, but that is what is going to be required in this market. So we've got that covered. Sellers, okay, this is another one. You have to kind of be prepared for those low ball entry bids. You're not used to it. I understand that it can be offensive, but we need to change our mindset on that. If somebody likes your house well enough to spend their time writing an offer, even if it's low, negotiate it out. Always give a counter. Don't reject it. If you can't come to terms, fine. Let them move on and buy something else and then wait for your buyer. But don't get all stressed out about it. Let your agent handle that stress part. Just volley back. Be prepared for the volley. If they don't come up, let them move on. No harm, no foul. Staging a home, more important than ever. When there are more homes to choose from than buyers that are looking, there are multiple homes competing for one buyer. So buyers are going to be looking at homes much more closely than they have in the past, and expectations might be a little bit higher for conditions. So we need to do our due diligence there. Buyers are finally going to get some relief. It's been a lot of pressure with multiple offers and hurried decisions in purchasing houses. But you know what? I think that that's kind of a good thing, because buyers have had to shoot from the hip, overbid on houses. And what we've seen, and I've seen it here with many years in my career, is when the market is like that, there are much more deals that fall through, many more deals that fall through, because buyers have had to make a hasty decision. So you see picky inspections, or buyers just bailing out, you know, in the inspection clause. So when they have a chance to see a house twice and really make a thorough decision, I think it's less frustrating for everybody, because the deals are more solid, the decisions are solid. And lastly, buyers, you need to still be prepared to pay fair market value. Just because a market shifts from sellers to buyers does not mean that this is a lowball season by any stretch of the imagination. Be prepared to pay fair market value, because good houses are still going to sell for good prices. And the bottom line is, and I don't want to talk myself out of a job here, but there is no need to talk about hurrying up and selling and beating the market, or, you know, anything like that. If you're ready to downsize, do that. If you're ready to upsize, I think you should definitely do that. But what we need to remember, that even in a correction, even in this shift, if we see a little dip in price, just even 5%, the average sale price in Oakland County is, I think, $447 right now. That's $20,000-ish. That's unpleasant, but it's not going to change the trajectory of our life. 5% of 200,000 or 5% of 400,000, I mean, you're still going to live your life and do what you need to do. So the bottom line is, we're all going to be okay. You just keep doing you. You can't arm wrestle the market. It's going to do what it's going to do. Right now, we're kind of balanced, but we're okay. If you have any questions, feel free to call me at 248-840-3434. I always love to talk about the market. Have a great day.